sir.
Yeah. Okay. So are you guys in the hall now, or I mean, do you need to travel or walk to the hall by 3 o'clock?
Some of us are in the hall, some are not.
Sorry. So most of you are in the hall now.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So today actually, so if you look at the timetable, right, it's supposed to be FAR 342. But because I still owe you one discussion slot for this FAR 341 for the renal, so I thought maybe I'll just use this slot for the purpose lah. So for the FAR 342, the existing course or topic for today, I will share it as a video in the next lecture, which is next Tuesday, I think. So next Tuesday, there will be for both the FAR 342 topics for today and next week's topic, both will be shared through eLearn using video. So there will be physical class for the coming two topics for FAR 342. Okay, so we will only have a physical class of for FAR 342. I think the week after next week, which would be in January first week. So we have a first physical class whereby you can ask questions related to the two topics, the first two topics for FAR 342. Okay. All right. So I think without wasting time, I'll just start our session today. We have almost 100 now, 100 students. Okay. So I'm sure most of you have already done the pre-lecture task, and you also went through the video. So I assume that most of you already know about the topic, about what we are going to discuss today, roughly. So this topic, again, this discussion is meant to be a discussion. So just like the first topic earlier on blood therapy, for this discussion as well, I will be asking question. I will give you like, four questions all together. So each question, two questions come from part one, the videos where you watch on part one, which is on osmotic diuretic and carbonic anhydrase inhibitor. And then the other two questions will come from the thiazide and thiazide-like diuretics, loop diuretics, and potassium-sparing diuretics in the part two video that you watched last Friday. And of course, if we have time, then I will also open up the discussion to all of you. In case you have anything else that you want to ask related to the video or the topic by itself. Okay, so in terms of the attendance, actually, this particular discussion was supposed to be physical initially. So, but because I have a few of your colleagues tell me that they actually can't make it because of certain reason. Some unfortunately got COVID or close contact to COVID, so they couldn't come physically. So I thought in that case, then maybe I'll just do online discussion instead, so that those that couldn't come physically can still attend the discussion. Okay, so in terms of attendance, don't worry too much about this attendance because I can actually capture your attendance through the WebEx itself, so you don't have to actually fill up this attendance. Okay, so I'll just move on. Please stop me if you have any questions at any time. Okay, next. Okay, so I'm sure you already went through this case a few times as well. I'm sure Prof. Vicky as well as Dr. Adi has showed this case to you previously. We are not going to use a lot information on this case, but we will use this as a background case to guide our topics today. Okay, so part one, as I mentioned, we will talk about the osmotic diuretic as well as the carbonic anhydrase inhibitor. So the first question that I want to share with you is on mannitol. So my first question to you, which I will give you around 5 minutes, because this particular topic itself, I will use 10 minutes to sum up. So if you, I will give you 5 minutes to think about the answer for this question first, and then another 5 minutes will be used to discuss. So my first question is, what is the preferred route of administration for mannitol, whether it's oral or injection? And then I will ask you to explain your choice. So please try to think about this answer. We will start um, the discussion at 2:10. All right. Okay. So I will ask. I would like to ask Eric. Eric Yap. Are you there, Eric Yap? Eric, are you there? Okay. Eric seems not to be around. How about Winnie? Winnie Liao?
Yes, doctor.
Hi, Winnie. So, can you tell us what's your guess for this answer?
I think I would choose injection.
Okay. Can you briefly explain why you choose this?
Mm, because it is poorly absorbed. That is one. And then when it given orally, it can become very acidic because it metabolizes and then the hydrogen will be metabolized.
Hydrogen will be metabolized. What will it be metabolized to?
Because it has tendency to lose the hydrogen ion.
Why? Because this is not an acid, it's an alcohol.
Mm,
Okay, so I do agree with you that this particular compound is cannot be absorbed because of it's very polar, right? So okay, so what that means to you? Does it mean that okay, which functional group of this structure that allows you to think that this particular compound is very polar?
OH.
OH, okay. So did you go and check what is the log p value for this compound? Okay, maybe later on you can go and check if you have not. So you can easily go to website like PubChem or whatever. They always have this prediction of the log p value. You can have a rough idea what is the log p value, and then you know why it is considered hydrophilic or lipophilic. And then another thing is, okay, you mentioned that it is polar, so it means that it can actually forms a lot of hydrogen bond, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it can form hydrogen bond with what solution? So
Aqueous.
yeah, aqueous. Okay, so meaning to say that it is easily it can be easily solvated by the water lah. Can form hydrogen bond with the water molecule. So it is highly soluble in water. So which means that it is definitely suitable as an injection lah, because injection it has to be soluble in the aqueous phase, right? And then you also mentioned that it's non-absorbable, so that's why it's not suitable to be given orally. So this is also correct. So maybe I wanted to ask another person. Thanks, Winnie. So following the previous question, so how do you think this drug, because you know that this is a diuretic, right? So how do you think this drug, after injected, will actually gets into the you know the tubule or lumen of the tubule? Can anyone volunteer, or anyone would like to volunteer to explain the possible mechanism of how this drug, after you inject, and then how it actually gets into the lumen, and how it actually causes the diuretic effect? So Eric is still not here yet, right? Okay, how about Ariana?
Doctor.
Hi, Ariana. Can you explain, or can you at least, okay, first, you agree, right? This drug can only be given as an injection.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, okay. So can you explain how this drug travels after you check how the drug actually travels into the lumen of the kidney for it to cause the diuretic effect? What's the mechanism involved?
I think they increase the water to be squirted out.
How? Okay, so can you tell me, like, okay, after you inject, so the this drug will get into your blood, right? So the blood will go to where first?
Oh, you did. Go to Hollywood. The drug will first travel to the whole body.
Whole body, okay. And
Then
then,
from there, it has effect on
so how does it get into the renal?
through blood.
Okay. So which part of the renal that it will go to first?
To the
Okay.
glomerulus.
And then,
Will further go to the liver tubule,
sorry, to the,
tubules.
okay, tubules. Which tubule that the mannitol will react?
Proximal tubule.
Proximal tubule, okay. So once it gets in the proximal convoluted tubule, then it will get into the lumen, right? So once it gets to the lumen, how it can actually draw the water out from the the tubule or from the blood?
Is it through osmotic?
Yeah, okay. So why do you think it can actually create an osmotic at the lumen?
Is it through the movement of ions?
The movement of ions? No. So what happened is your mannitol, right? When it gets secreted into the lumen, it will not be able to be reabsorbed back, right? Because it's quite polar. So that will actually increase the osmotic pressure in the lumen. So that will actually push the water out into the lumen, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's how this drug actually travel. All right. Okay. So yeah.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Can you repeat again, because I don't think I quite understand that.
Which part?
The action, the mechanism of action.
It is okay. So what happened is that the mannitol will actually get secreted into the lumen of the PCT, right? Your proximal convoluted tubule, right? All right. So when it's inside the lumen of the tubule, what happens is that because mannitol is very polar, so it's unlikely that it will be reabsorbed back into the tubule. So when because of this reason, when there's an increasing in the mannitol, because mannitol is non-reabsorbable and is highly soluble in water, just like any salt that you know of, so it can actually increase the osmotic pressure in the lumen. So when it increases the osmotic pressure, we know that it will pull the water from high concentration of water to the low concentration of the water area, right? So it actually pulls the water into the lumen. So that's why it can work as a diuretic to pull to excrete the water out from the kidney.
Okay, all good, doctor. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, thanks. All right, so now we're going to move on to the next question. Any questions? Any other questions from anyone else before I move on to the next question? Okay, if not, then we'll move on. So the second question is, in your opinion, why do you think Mr. CD was given furosemide? If you actually went through the case, you know that in this patient, he he was given a furosemide lah. So I want you to think, why do you think Mr. Siti was given furosemide and not acetazolamide for his pedal edema? Right. So this patient has pedal edema. So explain your answer, right? So please give yourself 5 minutes as well, and then we'll discuss at 2:25. Okay, I think I'll proceed with the discussion. So, Ng Kai Tian, are you there? Kai Tian, are you there? Okay. Nurul Shafika binti Muhammad Nasir. Nurul Shafika binti Muhammad Nasir, are you? Yes, okay. So, what do you think is the reason? Or first, can you tell me or tell us what is acetazolamide, or which group is furosemide and which group is acetazolamide?
Furosemide is a loop diuretic,
Okay.
and acetazolamide is a carbonic anhydrase inhibitor.
Okay, all right. So why do you think this patient is not suitable to be given acetazolamide?
Firstly, I think it's better to give the furosemide because the patient have a problem with the urination, right?
Mm-hmm.
So less urination. So furosemide will help to increase the